I wanted to kick off today to just talk about the role of the CFO. What is the CFO? And why do we all have job security? So the role of the CFO. Some of you guys might think, and if you were at, I feel like half of our job is we sell CFO services, but we're always educating people on what a CFO actually does. A lot of people view us, for a small business, they might view the CFO and the accountant as one and the same, Other businesses might view you as the guys looking for the expense reports or the TPS reports, right? And, the way that we view the CFO function is much more broad and important. And today's track and sessions are really focused on how we as CFOs can be the most effective. So the Wikipedia definition says the chief financial officer is an officer of a company or organization that is assigned the primary responsibility for managing the company's finances, including financial planning, management of financial risks, record keeping, and financial reporting. So that's kind of a high-level textbook definition, but as we've looked at the role and we've studied the role and spent a lot of time thinking about what are the elements that make up the CFO role, we've come up with 5 areas that we feel CFOs should be responsible for and that will help them really clue in on and have financial success. So I want to talk about those this morning as an introduction to what you should expect to see covered in these tracks and these sessions today. The CFO is responsible for process and controls, right? And this is the one I think most people, when they think of CFO, they do a pretty good job of understanding this bucket, right? That includes things like having accurate and timely financial statements, having a closing checklist, having a 13-week cash forecast, all of the kind of more checklist type items that all of us should just make sure are happening within our finance departments would fall under that process and controls bucket. The second is people and culture. And I think this is one that gets ignored a lot. Like we as CFOs are responsible for building the culture and the team within the finance department. But even more broadly, we're involved in budgeting headcounts for other departments as well, and making sure that the companies are investing in those headcounts to make the places we work profitable and sustainable and a great place to work. As CFOs, we're involved with strategy, and so this can involve things like how do we look at the business? How do we analyze the business? When do we take price? And strategy encompasses a lot of the forward-looking exercises that we do as CFOs, right? We're always trying to think what's going to happen. We never know exactly what's going to happen. Financial plans are always wrong the second we present them, but strategy is really going in, understanding the components of the business, looking forward into the future, and doing our best to set ourselves up for the best amount of success. Technology. We'll talk a lot about technology today. Right after the keynote on stage, we'll have a technology panel of product managers and individuals who are designing softwares and designing the future of what the CFO function and the technology that we'll be using is going to look like. This is innovative stuff. These are people we'll hear about some technologies that haven't even been released yet, right? But as CFOs, we need to make sure that we have the right technology in place. And some of us are working on dated ERPs. Some of us are working on old payroll systems. And we may be muscling through it with a lot of extra time and bodies that we throw at a problem. But over time, it's our job as CFOs to make sure that we're introducing new technologies, we're keeping things efficient, or if the old technologies are working, assessing that and making sure that we're still getting good returns on those investments. And then the last bucket is capital raising, right? So, capital can come from really 3 areas. We can go out and raise debt. We can operate at a profit. It's my favorite. Or we can go out and raise equity financing. And each of these situations can be appropriate in different areas. But a lot of the sessions today are really focused on how can we be successful within these 5 elements of financial success. So again, As attendees here, not all of us are accountants or process and control people. A lot of us are focused on strategy, people, technology, and capital. And our hope today is that we set in stone a foundation for all the attendees of like, what is the role of the CFO and how can we be more than just accountants or TPS report people? How can we really get after it and help the organizations that we work with succeed?